Firewise program is it's actually Firewise USA. It's a national program from NFPA, and it's designed to help communities come together at a grassroots level to improve the resiliency of their neighborhood. Los Altos Hills is the perfect place for the Firewise program. They have motivated communities that do have some wildfire risk, and this brings resiliency to the communities. It's an area where education is important because there's ridges and slopes and hills and all the factors that play into these big wildfire catastrophes.
So Firewise is a program, it's a nationwide program set up by the National Fire Protection Association, or NFPA. The concept of that is a grassroots neighbor helping neighbor. The idea is it's in a geographical location that they have in common. So they all have the same risk factors and kind of the same evacuation needs and the same vegetation management needs. So it takes those residents working together to be part of the solution for the wildfire problem. A lot of the roads here are very narrow, somewhat overgrown, private roads, with a lot of people living on them. So they're all needing to leave at the same time. They all have a geographical relationship to each other, and they need to leave on the same time and then go into just a few major thoroughfares in Los Altos Hills.
Saddle Mountain in particular is at the top of a ridge, the top of the mountain, Saddle Mountain. Fire burns up. So anything that has happened in fire behavior below them, whether it's a car fire along a roadside, if it's not caught quickly and early, it has the potential to spread right uphill. And California is in a decade of drought. So all of the moisture content of the plants is very low, abnormally low. And so that raises the risk of wildfire.
Well, you're only as safe as your neighbors make you. If you do a lot to clear your property, but your neighbors don't, then you're at risk.
Well, if my neighbor doesn't do something to protect his or her property, a spark could come over here and that could do it. My house is wood. The shakes are too. So I'm, so to speak, very combustible.
These kinds of programs like the Firewise are going to bring to visibility the fact that, you know, just because you live in a wildland area doesn't mean you can't, you know, do property hygiene. And I think it encourages and it gives people the proper guidance on what to do. This particular approach seems to provide people an integration and an opportunity to get to know one another. So I think that kind of building of community, I think, is a very strong advantage of the program.
As a first responder responding into those fires, it's very hard to see the community struggle through that. They rally together generally afterwards to rebuild their community, but what can we do so that we're not having to rebuild? And that's what we want to work on in Los Altos Hills. We want to have the most beneficial outcome prior, that we won't have that fire possibly come through. As if all of the residents in Los Altos Hills were to establish a Firewise community in their neighborhood, you're going to see a Los Altos Hills that is fire adaptive and a Los Altos Hills as a community that is more resilient, that's more prepared, that understands the risk for wildfires.